User of Reddit asks, people who've lost weight, how? Being gluten intolerant and living in a country that doesn't understand really what that means, decreasing bad carbs, increasing cardio and weight training, sleeping before midnight/11 p.m. most nights, drink tons of water and herbal teas with low honey amount. Fresh foods like veggies, fruits, meats. Little to no processed foods, intermittent fasting. Being gluten intolerant and living in a country that doesn't understand really what that means, decreasing bad carbs, increasing cardio and weight training, sleeping before midnight/11 p.m. most nights, drink tons of water and herbal teas with low honey amount. Fresh foods like veggies, fruits, meats. Little to no processed foods, intermittent fasting. People try to lose weight doing a bunch of things out of their norm and fail. Just change one thing that's bad. For example, I was 225 pounds 6 feet in high school. I ate pizza every day for lunch. All I did for one semester was just not eat it for lunch. I was 195 pounds by the end of the semester. The change one thing rule is so underrated. Especially for people who have a lot of bad habits. And, you can compound it. Change one thing for a month, then add another healthy habit next month. That way you don't overwhelm yourself by trying to quit everything on week one. It applies to so many aspects of our lives, too. Diet and exercise. I feel like people are disappointed when they hear this, but that's really all there is to it. When I was in high school I weighed about 50 pounds more than I do today. Just went to the gym and started to eat better and eventually I lost weight. But everyone who asked how did you lose the weight? Looked so disheartened when I said just diet and exercise. Stop eating shit and start to cook. It changes it all. Your food tastes way better and it is healthier. Start eating fruits in between meals, make you eat less at lunch and dinner. It is not that hard, cooking is easy and you'll find yourself loving it pretty soon. Fast food and frozen stuff is gross to me nowadays. If I eat a McDonald's today I instantly throw up. Food is wonderful and most people in developed countries forgot about it, especially in North America. People make cooking out to be such a chore. It's really not that difficult to cook for yourself. In the amount of time you'd spend in the McShitters drive-thru you could have made yourself a decent meal. I can't even imagine eating boxed frozen meals or fast food after home cooking for so long. I also found that it is way cheaper as well. Chicken, rice, and vegetables is cheap and filling. Ate less, ate healthier, and exercised. I didn't make a lot of big changes at once either. First thing I did was cut sodas out of my diet. Then a couple of weeks later, I started leaving cheese off my burgers and hot dogs. Couple of weeks after that started ordering small meals at fast food places instead of large ones. Then I started eating cucumber slices instead of chips/fries. Then instead of eating shit like candy bars, I switched to chocolate covered fruit, and eventually to just regular fruit. Stuff like that. As for exercise, again, nothing major. First change was walking once around the block I lived on. For weeks that was it. Then I started adding in bicep curls. Then sit-ups. Then push-ups. Then light stretches. Over a 6-month period I went from 345 and walking a half mile leaving me breathless and with chest pains to 267 and walking several miles at a time. I didn't make a lot of big changes at once either. This is an extremely underrated comment. This holds true for any major change you want to make in your life. If you make too drastic of a change too quickly, you're very likely to get frustrated and give up after a short period of time. True change happens by degrees just as you described here. I would know, I've gotten clean from heroin. I also am currently applying this mentality to transitioning to a vegan diet and low-waste living. No tricks. Forget them. Gym 3 times a week. I liked swimming so I would swim then walk or do light weights. Change of diet. No eating out at all, made food at home that wasn't processed. Change of habits. No more bagels with egg and cheese and ham for breakfast, instead of half a bagel with cream cheese and a slice of turkey. Added rice to most meals. Sounds like all those other health nuts, but it's honestly not that bad. Lost 65 pounds in 6 months. Important edit, I cut out beer. I probably had 20 a week, couple each night. Switched to the sugar-free seltzers and they were great. I'm not someone who's ever struggled with weight, but a tip I can recommend that helps me maintain is, use smaller plates. When you use a traditional sized dinner plate, we have the tendency to fill up the space, and if not, it looks so small that your brain thinks you're eating very little and want more. Use a smaller plate, like for apps. It's just a trick on your mind. Another one is to prevent from serving seconds. After done with your plate, immediately put it in the sink. So now if you want a second plate, you have to dirty up another plate and utensils, and the thought of that turns me off immediately. This is a great tip. Also, brush your teeth after every meal. You won't want to eat again for a while. At the start of December in 2021, I was diagnosed with idiopathic intracranial hypertension at the age of 13. My optic nerve was swollen nearly 4 times that of a normal person's, and some parts of it was starting to die off from lack of blood circulation, causing me to gradually lose my vision. I was 75 kilograms. I had to change my life. Sounds cringe, I know, but it's true. My father got me a gym membership and I simply turned my life around. Turns out the risk of going blind is a strong motivator. I cut down all snacking, ate only fruits high in vitamin C for breakfast, basically ate no rice, focused on proteins and veggies but ate little portions, tracked my calories to be around 1500 to 1800 a day, sometimes lower. And then there was the gym. I went every day for a month, stair climbing for 40 minutes each day on the Stairmaster machine, cycling 10 kilometers at least on the bike at the highest resistance, and even ran a bit. Even when school started, I barely ate, if at all, during recess and lunch, and would effectively eat a bit for breakfast and another small meal for lunch. I lost 7 kilograms in my first month. Over time my eating habits became less drastic and I became healthier and fitter. As of December 2022, I weighed 53 kilograms, and was incredibly happy. My condition has improved significantly and my nerve size is almost back to normal. I've even been trying to gain muscle the last 4 or so weeks. All I can say is, my life is a lot better. I'm ABT 55 kilograms and it's the best decision I've made in my life. If you wanna lose weight, remember that it's possible, just maintain a caloric deficit. Just remember, if I and so many others can do, why can't you? All the best. Smile. The absolute nerve of this person. Please like and subscribe for daily content. I love you. People try to lose weight doing a bunch of things out of their norm and fail. Just change one thing that's bad. For example, I was 225 pounds 6 feet in high school. I ate pizza every day for lunch. All I did for 1 semester was just not eat it for lunch. I was 195 pounds by the end of the semester. The change one thing rule is so underrated. Especially for people who have a lot of bad habits. And, you can compound it. Change one thing for a month, then add another healthy habit next month. That way you don't overwhelm yourself by trying to quit everything on week 1. I've been obese my entire adult life. I thought in order to lose weight I would need to join a gym and work out and run every day, and I just didn't have the motivation for that. Your weight is 99.9% a result of your eating and activity habits. I had a habit of overeating and lived a mostly sedentary lifestyle due to my office job. Try making better eating habits, stuff that you can sustain for lifelong periods of time, not just a few days or weeks. For me it started by removing cheeseburgers from my diet and never ordering more than a small soda. Just by doing that I went from 275 pounds down to 250 pounds over a few months. At this point I wasn't trying to lose weight, I was trying to fix an anxiety disorder I had. I became serious about losing weight in September. I decided to cut out fried foods, eat more vegetables, and eliminate soda completely. When eating healthy isn't an option, I give myself a portion no bigger than my fist. I weigh myself on Fridays and have been losing an average 2 pounds per week. Currently weigh 220 pounds. I will no longer be obese if I keep it up a couple more weeks. It's really difficult in the beginning, but soon your body gets used to getting less food and it gets easier. I highly suggest reducing sugar to almost none. I used to get shaky when I didn't eat and I thought it would be impossible to diet. Turns out the shakes were just part of the sugar crash. No sugar, no crash. Makes it a lot easier to diet, and as a bonus when you starve yourself of sugar, vegetables start to taste really good. Nice job. I did Weight Watchers and set my expectations low. I lost about 20 pounds over the course of about 5 months. That was 2 years ago, and even without doing WW since, I've managed to keep it off. I typically kept within my points, but I had no problem using my extra weekly points. And if there was something I really wanted that I knew would drive me over, sometimes I chose to indulge anyway. I knew it wouldn't be sustainable to be so strict for so long. I only stopped WW because my life got crazy, but it taught me some good habits and I'd like to rejoin soon. What was really key for me was just to keep persevering even if I got discouraged. I would see people on there whining about only losing 9 pounds in a month, and I thought that was insane. The faster you burn it off, the faster you gain it back, and then some. Patience, perseverance, and kindness to yourself. I learned what a portion size actually looks like and stopped eating 3-4k calories a day. I dropped a good 20 or so pounds just doing that. When I got a bit more serious about weight loss, I started actually calorie counting. I weighed and measured my food, then logged everything in MyFitnessPal for accountability. I was so excited by the physical changes that I started exercising, and by the time I was done with my weight loss journey I had abs. The best piece of advice given to me was you can't outrun a bad diet. Just consider how hard it is to burn 300 calories, but how easy it is to eat 300 calories. You'll lose more weight pushing the plate away than you will trying to burn off the calories in the gym. Lost 100 pounds. It really sucks, but there is no trick to it. Eat less calories than you burn, for a long period of time. Look at calorie information on food packaging and look up an online maintenance calculator. Some things that help are not drinking alcohol or smoking weed, as well as for me personally, if I don't buy any snack foods, that helps too. The most important part is to realize you will never have the willpower to adhere to your diet 100% of the time, and even if you fail once, twice, hell even 5x a week on the diet, never ever give up. One day it will stick and you will accomplish your goal. I had a gastric bypass at the start of 2020. I started around 120 kilograms, 165 centimeters tall, now I'm hovering around 66 kilograms. Best decision I ever made. I've also had surgery to remove nearly 6 kilograms of excess skin from my breasts and abdomen. ETA, I spent my whole adult life on diets with varying success. A bypass was a last-ditch attempt. It is still the same concept. I eat fewer calories than I burn off through strength and conditioning training. The bypass just made it very difficult for me to eat too much. I find most answers a little oversimplified, and I interpret the question as asking more than just how a caloric deficit works. Here's my story. When I started law school I was 215 pounds. This isn't huge for most people, but I didn't feel good. By the time Christmas rolled around I was about 175, by the end of the year I was about 165, and by the time I was called to the bar I was 154. I'm now about 165. My trick was I stopped eating meat during the week and drank much less beer. I replaced beer with black coffee and water. I also had moved to a city with really poor public transit, so I walked everywhere and would go for 10 to 20 kilometers walks every day.